What's going on, y'all? Got another review video coming right up. We're going to look at the 3200Z. Stay tuned. Alright, so what we got here is the IS-3200Z 61-inch deck. It's got the suspension seat on it. That seat actually just came off of our brand new mower over here. And we swapped it because, as you can see, this mower is considerably bigger. And it just made more sense to have the bigger seat on the bigger mower. And that way the center of gravity is a whole lot better on that small mower. So this comes with a 37 horsepower Vanguard engine. It's a 993cc EFI engine. It also comes with the oil guard system. It holds 5 quarts of oil, 1 quart in the engine, and it cycles it around. Very easy to change the oil in here. You just turn that little valve and the spigot opens. Just put your little tub underneath, collect your oil. Up here, open your cap. Oil filter sits inside, and this is your dipstick. Really convenient, easy, keeps the engine a lot cooler, makes the engine last a lot longer. So according to Vanguard, you can go 500 hours without an oil change. I've tried that the first time, and I found that the oil was a little dirty for my taste. So I like to do it every 250 hours. Once in the spring, once in the fall. I put about anywhere from 400 to 500 hours a year on this mower. So that works for me. So this mower has 11 gallon fuel capacity, 5.5 on each side. And you have your fuel gauges on each side. I've had to replace this one in the past. It was started leaking on me, and looks like I'm having the same problem again. Not sure what I'm gonna do about that, but it's mainly just dirty. It doesn't really leak until I fill it up completely and I start swishing around, and it'll start kind of leaking out of the lens. But other than that, it works just fine. A few things I did to this mower right when I got it. I made a few adjustments to suit my needs better. My legs are kind of short, so they come stock about 3 inches closer to the front. So I turned that around to where, it's closer to me, works better for me. Same thing with this little lever right here. It's only about 8 inches tall from stock. So I extended that to where I don't have to bend down so far to reach it. Just stuck a pipe over it, and that works good. Another thing is these are usually bolted shut from the factory, and in order to get access to that, you have to unscrew it completely to take the pipe off. And I just bolted the knob to it to where all I have to do is lift it up, and that works better for me as well. Another thing is the pin for the adjustment, height adjustment. Usually it comes with a key ring on the top, and I find wearing gloves, trying to grab it and put it back in, it's just hard to grab. Plus it kind of rattles a little bit. So I took the key ring off and welded a nut on, and I find that just works a lot better for me. I don't have the covers over the spindles right here. I usually pull those off because it's hard to keep clean. Even though you blow it off after each yard, it still manages to get packed under there with grass or leaves and mud, whatever. So I'll leave those off. So this comes with Hercules 2 cast iron spindles in this mower. They're really big and heavy duty. They hold a whole lot of grease. During the summer when it's really, really hot down here and we're mowing a lot, once a week I would pump probably 100 pumps in each one of those spindles. Now I know that sounds crazy, but that's what it takes to fill them completely, and for some reason all that grease gets burned up, or it goes away somehow and during the week. So if I pump it daily during the summer, I could probably get away with doing 20 pumps in each. But if I wait like 5 days, 5 to 7 days, it's going to take about 100 pumps to fill it up during the summer. In the cooler temperatures during the winter when we mow all year long, it's half that. So I know it's using up the grease. And the way I fill it up is that dessert fitting on the top, and I pump until it starts coming out in between the deck and the pulley. And no, that's not then the seals aren't blown on it because it operates just fine. I just have to keep grease in it. I used to be real adamant about keeping it full. Once a week I would fill it up, but this past year we've been, crazy busy, and we really don't have time to do much maintenance. So every day I was just pumping, 5 or 10 pumps in it every day just to make sure it's got grease in it. And I haven't had any problems, so there's that. It comes with dual deck belts. It's got one big belt that covers these two spindles here, and it goes to the engine. And then it has a double pulley where it goes to that one over here. And I gotta tell you, I've had no issues whatsoever with this system. Doesn't slip. I got 1,000 hours on the original belts. Does really well. I did have a few things go out on me on this mower. I've actually had to replace the PTO clutch 3 times. The first one was under warranty at 300 hours. They replaced it again. It happened at 600 hours. So I'm like, well, it looks like this is going to be every 300 hours. The third one wasn't bad until probably, I want to say 1,200 hours. So I'm still on the third one, and I'm at 1,800 hours. So having pretty good luck on this third one. I guess third time's a charm. As far as the drive belt goes, I've only replaced it twice. Once because the first PTO clutch disintegrated and shredded the belt. The second one, I think I just changed it just because it had a lot of hours on it. So other than that, the coil went bad in this mower. So it was recommended to me that to replace both the coils, because if one went out, the other one's probably going to go out again while you're in there. Just change them both. So I went ahead and did that. Other than that, this mower is a beast. All the power you could ever want. Good cut quality. Mows really well in any conditions. Wet grass, dry grass, tall, short, doesn't matter. This mower also has the no flat front tires on it. It didn't come with that stock. I had to order that separate. I think it should have came with it stock. I think all mowers should, but let's see what else. The mower weighs 1,440 pounds, equipped with the covers and the rock bar and all of that. So it's a pretty heavy mower. So these Ferris mowers are known for their ride quality, and that's because they have these coil-over shocks all the way around. It's got independent suspension, and the deck, you would think the mower travels like this and the deck would scalp the yard, but the way it's designed, as each corner of the deck is controlled by each control arm and also the rear suspension. So as it's going up and down, it knows, the way it's designed, it knows which way it needs to travel, so it won't scalp the yard. And the way they do that, it's kind of hard to explain and show you, but these bars, they go back here, and the bar from the back comes up here. So as this control arm goes up and down, the deck, follows the wheel, not the mower. And this is the shocks in the back. And as you can see, kind of hard to see with the wheel, but the frame of the mower is separate with the wheel. All 4 corners are independent suspension. At 1,000 hours, I went ahead and replaced all the suspension around, all the springs and shocks, because I noticed that it just wasn't performing as well as it did when it was new. Especially in the front up here, whenever I would come out of ditches or get on obstacles and such, that it just wouldn't hold the load and hold the weight of the mower like it should, and the deck was kind of scalping every so often. And so I went ahead and replaced all of those, and that did the trick. I probably could have got away without it and maybe just keep adjusting them, because they do have these little adjustments on it to where you can tighten it up and loosen it. It's right here. You just, it comes with a tool and you spin it. And I think on that first pair though, I played around with it and I just wasn't satisfied with it. So that's the second set of shocks all the way around. It's at 1,800 hours now and it's still doing just fine. This is what it looks like with the seat folded forward. You got your hydro reservoirs right here. You got your cooling fans over your wheel motors right there. And this mower is equipped with the Hydro Gear 5400 series wheel motors. Really strong. I like it. It holds 4 quarts of oil in each one of these. So each time you do a hydro change, it's kind of expensive. I've always just used the cheapest oil I could find, the 20W50. I've never had any problems. I just change it once a year. No matter how many hours is on it, I would just change it every spring. And I've never had any issues. It does take about 45 minutes to change them, but other than that, I've had no issues. The wheels that come on the mower is a 26 by 12 by 12. These are the Carlisle Turf Smarts. That's what came on the mower originally. I really like these tires. It's got a different tread pattern than most. Most mowers come with those Turf Masters, which I'm not a fan of. These don't tear up the turf, and they grip well on hills, and they don't really hold the mud and grass that go flying off when you go to the next yard on the fresh concrete. So I like these tires. So I think I covered everything that I want to cover. If you think of anything, any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, help the channel out, and subscribe if you haven't. We'll see y'all later.
Once a boy and a girl with no path to find, but right now I'm satisfied. We fought each other's war, you and